Good morning. Today we're going to be doing a color application with INOA. INOA stands for Innovation No Ammonia Hair Color. With INOA, we have a three-component system. We have the oleo gel, the developers, and the colorants. With traditional permanent hair color, you have the developers and the colorants. So today we're going to be working on our guest. We are going to be mixing 1.0 and 3.0. We're going to use a natural series in INOA. The natural series in INOA will cover your gray 100%. So you can see with our guest here, we have about an 8-week regrowth. And also, if you look nice and close, you can see a band on our lovely guest hair right through this area. We see some more. So with our INOA formulation today, we're going to go ahead and pull that all the way up to about right here to balance out that shaft from mid-links to ends. We're going to process INOA for a full 35 minutes, and we're going to get wonderful, fantastic coverage of her gray. I started the application with my guest hair, and I've done one quad. When coloring hair, you want to make sure you still section in 4 quads, front to front, back to back. So I went ahead and did my guest's right front panel. Now I'm going to go and do her left front panel. Still section it off for control of your application. And now I'm going to go through. I work on a slight diagonal to make sure I have perfect application and saturation on my non-pigmented hair. And you can see I'm taking it up on that band where she had of warmth, just about a half a level lighter than what her natural was. And again, just kind of marry it up there. Always making sure that your sections are nice and fine. 1/8 of an inch, no more than 1/4 of an inch, depending on the texture of hair that you're working on. If your sections are too thick, you're not going to get great application, and your gray will not be covered, as well as if you're trying to achieve lift, your lift will not be achieved. So again, controlling that band. So I finished my application with INOA, and I'm going to go back now with my brush and lay the hair flat. When covering gray hair tends to pop up. So to get perfect coverage with INOA, we just go back and lay the hair flat. L'Oreal recommends for INOA to be applied with a bowl and a brush. I prefer a bottle, and then I go back section by section and lay the hair flat, making sure that I get every one of those little gray hairs to lay flat to get coverage. I'm going to go and do this throughout the whole head. Get perfect coverage of gray. Process for a full 35. Start our dry emulsification, finish with a wet emulsification, and you'll see the finished result of our guest coverage of gray. So we have finished our INOA application. We have went ahead and applied it to her regrowth area. She had about an 8-week regrowth with about 5% gray hair, natural level 2. We used INOA 1.0 and 3.0 mixed equal parts to create a 2.0. We used with 20 volume developer. We went ahead and applied it with a bottle. Once we finished the application with the bottle, we went ahead and laid the hair flat with a brush. And why we choose to do that is L'Oreal recommends to lay the hair flat for gray coverage. It processed for 32-33 minutes. Now we're going ahead with our next step, which is called dry emulsification. The dry emulsification, what that's basically doing is with the oleo gel, it's taking the film around the shaft of the hair, which is the oleo gel, and removing it. It's kind of like yogurt in the refrigerator left without a cap on it. You have that film on top. So you just want to remove that film on the shaft of the hair. And again, this application is called dry emulsification. My lovely associate here is doing that. It takes between 2 to 3 minutes, no more than 2 to 3 minutes. Once we get the dry emulsification, we take them back to the shampoo area, and then we do a process called wet emulsification. You can see it's not about giving the client a head massage, it's just about touching that INOA application, making sure that we're just removing that oleo gel film around the shaft of the hair. It takes no additional time. It's within that 35-minute processing time. You start at about 32 to 33 minutes. You can also use INOA with dimensional coloring. You can still do your dry emulsification in between the foils. And you'll see me at a later video demonstrating the INOA application with dimensional coloring as well. So we finished the dry emulsification. Again, it should take between 2 to 3 minutes very easily. You can either do it at the shampoo bowl or you can do it at your station. So now what we're doing is we're going to do a wet emulsification. And how that's done is you go ahead and hit it lightly with water, and you'll see my lovely assistant doing that. So she lightly hit it with water. Now she's going to do a wet emulsification, and you'll see the colorants will actually turn to a creamy color. Once that happens on the whole scalp, she'll go ahead and rinse until the water runs clear. We'll shampoo with INOA post-shampoo twice, and then finish, and you will see the finished look.
Mary's wondering for 9 minutes by now.
So we've finished our application with coverage in white with INOA. INOA again stands for Innovation No Ammonia Hair Color by L'Oreal Professionnel. We have great coverage. Our guest here had about 5% white hair. Fantastic coverage. And if you do remember, she had a band right in this area. So we went ahead and pulled INOA all the way to about right through here, and it's nice and balanced, mid-lengths to ends. Great coverage. Then also, if you want to look at her hairline, for a level 2, because we basically If you ever have any hair color questions, please visit me at www.salonratay.com, Ask the Expert page.